Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the House of Queens podcast. Today, we have a very empowering topic to talk about.
Yes, we do. We're going to discuss women in power. More and more women today are stepping into that goddess essence. They're stepping into their role as leaders and business just outside of the household. And like you said, I feel like that's very empowering. And I think it should be happening more and more because women can make such great leaders in business and not just in their household. So I think that one of the things that it's important to look into if you're looking to become a woman in power and looking to, step into business, start your own company, whatever it is you want to do, you have to figure out for yourself, what your passion is. And if you don't have that passion, it's so hard to be a great leader because leadership does require that passion. Regardless of what men say today, a lot of men will probably argue that you don't need the passion in order to be a great leader. You just need the logic. You need the pants. But I think ultimately you do need that passion.
And staying authentic to it.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%.
I truly believe that authenticity is key because naturally people are going to gravitate towards that. When you stay true to who you are and what you believe in, people are going to resonate.
Yeah, 100%. And not only that, I feel like when you're a woman that's in your power, whether again, especially when it comes to business, there are so many people that I feel are testing you. They're trying to be up against you. Oftentimes, especially in the real estate industry where we're in.
Yeah, definitely.
This is the old man's club, right? So you have men that will typically want to look down on you simply on the fact that you're a woman. And I think as more and more women feel that they can do it too, they can run successful businesses too, we can show them off and show look, I get it. You got the XY chromosomes. That's cool. But I got the XY. I know how to nurture my business. I know how to make sure my clients are taken care of. I have the attention to detail that is incredibly required in order to run a successful business. And that's something we just naturally have for the most part as women. We naturally have that nurturing ability, that ability to look deep into something and assess a problem. And I think that's what makes us stand out when we're competing against, men in the same industry as us. So
definitely.
If you're someone who is hesitant to get into that role and you have that desire to do so, I always tell people just do it. You have, more than likely, you have those qualities. You have what it takes to do exactly what you need to do and accomplish what you need to do.
Everything starts off as a thought.
Yeah.
Everything starts off as a thought. You just take that out of here and apply it to real life.
Yeah, and that's why we love vision boards. I don't know what woman that doesn't enjoy putting a vision board together and, looking at it, putting it on their wall. It's such a great tool. And also us as women, we like to write things down a lot. We journal and all of that stuff. So I think it's just super important to realize we're not in 1960 anymore, right? Do you remember that conversation we had with that guy who was basically telling us that men are still the kings of the world, they fought the wars for us, and women can never pretty much be in that position of power. But there are plenty of women who have that advantage today. What's that lady you were telling me about?
Queen Rania of Jordan. She has become such an advocate for education for the youth of not only Jordan, but the Middle East, and quite frankly, all over the world, because I've known so many people that have just looked up to her even from here.
Yeah.
She's a great leader. And fun fact, she actually married into the royal family. She wasn't born a royal. So with that being said, it just comes down to her marrying into the royal family and really stepping out and standing out from everyone else within that family as well, and other royal families too, because she wasn't born into it. You know what I mean? So it's great for other kids and mainly the youth who look up to her and really notice that they can do it too, especially the girls. I know the Middle East is a lot different than America, but but that still goes hand in hand with with what we're saying here. I think it's just there's so many learning opportunities from what she does and what she advocates and education. She's huge on education. She's just become such a voice for not only the girls in the Middle East and everywhere else, but everyone, really.
Yeah. And that just goes to show, like you said, she married into
the royal family.
She could have easily just like sat back.
She's extremely well educated.
Yeah, but think about it. Like she could have easily just sat back and said, like, I'm just gonna
and she very well could have. She very well
totally. And she still decided, like, I know my worth. I know what I'm capable of. I'm going to put myself out there. I know the goals I want to accomplish for other young women like myself. I want to be that, you know, inspiration to other young women and show that they can too run a flippin' country. Like, are you kidding me?
Oh my gosh, I want to use Michelle Obama as an example.
Oh my gosh, she's like the best.
She's the best first lady ever because
best example.
I have not seen any other not just class, absolutely, but I have not seen any other first lady before her or after her do what she's done and contribute to the community as much as she has, aside from her husband.
Yes.
And she really like made herself stand out as her own individual, not even attached to her husband.
Obama.
Yeah.
Or Barack, sorry.
Yeah, no. She hasn't, you know what I mean? She's done her own thing. She's advocated, again, for the children, for education, for all of these things that I think she's another really, really strong woman that's been in power. Yeah. And has opened up a lot of people's eyes.
Yeah. I couldn't agree more with you. And that's why, like, I feel like as a woman myself, especially after hearing time and time again from men,
that women can't do it.
That women can't do it. Like, I love to just like do the things to be like, I told you so. Like, we can definitely do whatever it is you do. You're not any more special than us. If anything, we can probably do it better. We could. And it's fine. Like, just don't hide behind a man. I think that's really the key thing. You do not have to hide behind a man in order to be successful, to accomplish whatever you want, to generate wealth. Like, I mean, even for myself, ever since I became a single mother, I have, and even with partnerships, I'll be with someone, but I don't rely on them solely to make sure that I'm successful.
Definitely.
If anything, it's the other way around. So I think,
yeah, go ahead.
I mean, truly, I think that and also like when you're stepping into your power, like, and you realize, like, I can do this by myself. Like, of course, it's great to have a man, right? Like,
they have, I mean,
they play their roles.
We have our own differences, but we work together. They can come in handy together.
Yeah, for sure. But to know that you're in a position where you don't need someone to take care of you, to need someone in order to make you feel like you're reaching the next level, like, that's such an empowering feeling. Because I can't tell you the amount of times I've come across women, like beautiful, strong Black women that can do so much, and they gave their whole lives away to their husbands who ultimately left them. And when it comes down to it, their resumes are dated. They developed no skills throughout that relationship. And now they're just like at the pit. Like the bottom of the pit, and they don't know what they're going to do. Yeah. So I just think it's so important as a woman to make sure, like, you have your own thing going on. You start your businesses, you do your side gigs, because that is how you make sure you're fine. And whoever comes along, great. But
never step away from that.
Yeah.
And stay true to it. Again, authenticity.
A lot of women do it, and it's so heartbreaking. Like, it totally breaks my heart to see it, because, again, you can see, like, what these women have in them. You know they can do great things. They can be great people.
I think everyone's capable in their own way.
Sure. Yeah, and then they just let it fizzle because they're with a man, and it's really crappy.
I think for me, I mean, it has a lot to do with the way I was raised. I know in my culture, it's typically the men that lead, of course. And being the oldest child, I'm sure a lot of people can relate. You know, there's immense pressure. And so because I am literally the oldest child on both sides, I feel that pressure to be a woman in power. Yeah. I feel that pressure to not only make it for myself, but for my loved ones, for my family. Yeah. And to really prove a point. Because again, I come from a culture where men are definitely the leaders. And I don't want to say higher value, but essentially, you know.
No, I get that.
Right. So yeah, it's definitely the pressure for me that I put on myself and that I have from everyone else around me, right? To just like step into that and be that woman in power.
I can relate to that wholly because I am also the older child in my family out of 7, which is outrageous. Okay. But I always, like, even as a child, I always played that role of like being the leader of my siblings. I had to be the one to make sure like the siblings were in order. I had to be the one to make sure I'm babysitting when mom wants to go out. I had to be the one to do the girls' hair because it's predominantly girls in my family. I had to do all of that stuff. So I think that also carried over into my adulthood.
It really does.
It took a while, though, because I was like a mess in my teenage years and like in my early 20s. But like I said, the moment I became a single mom of 2 boys and I was like at the very bottom, like I don't think I've ever realized that people can really hit the bottom like that after a man left my life. I had no choice, too.
To boss up.
I had no choice. Like, I had to figure out, like, how am I going to take care of 2 young kids? Like, what could I possibly do?
And I want to say, I just want to add that I think it sucks that it really does take something of that caliber to happen for you to really be like, dang, I really got to get my life together now. Not even just in your instance, for your kids. Like, when you have kids, I feel like that's your priority at that point. So I think it definitely does suck that it takes something like that to happen
for most people,
for a lot of people to realize that now is my time. I have to get going,
which is why I'm like,
but that's why
this now.
Yeah, there's beauty in it. There's beauty in the struggle.
No, for sure, for sure. But like, if you don't have to hit rock bottom in order to get there and realize, like, look, I should do what I need to do for myself. Before something, like, it's preventative measures, right?
Yeah.
Like, you shouldn't have to wait to that point to get there. It's great when you do level up when you're there, but it probably feels just as damn good when you're already in a pretty solid spot and you're just shooting up from there. Because, dude, starting from the bottom is like disgusting.
It is.
0 out of 10 would not recommend. I would not. Yeah.
All right. Well, we would love to know who are some of the women that you all look up to and what traits you think those women should possess or women in power should possess. And we will see you on the next episode.